What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Lee promised to comatose Luna. Brooke torn between Nick and Ridge. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Lee Finnegan will make a promise to comatose Luna Nozawa, while Brooke Logan finds herself torn between Nick Marone and Ridge Forrester. To begin, Lee will continue to provide Luna with care behind closed doors, and now that she has taken a leave of absence from the hospital, she will have ample time to do so. Luna is still fighting to recover from her injuries and appears to be in a coma, but Lee will show her some love and make a powerful vow. According to BNB, Lee will promise not to let Luna die and will plan to provide her with the stability Papi Nozawa never provided for her as a child. Now that Lee is watching over Luna and monitoring her condition, she'll shower Luna in family support and fully intend on nursing her back to health. Since Lee once smuggled John Finn Finnegan out of the hospital and secretly helped him recover as well, this isn't her first rodeo. Lee knows what she's doing and will want to give Luna all the attention she never gave her before. On Wednesday's episode, there will undoubtedly be even more excitement regarding Italy. After taking a boat ride together, Ridge and Brooke will attend the Forrester collaboration with Italian designer Luisa Beccaria in Capri. She will always be drawn to Nick, despite the close moments Brooke and Ridge are about to share. Eric Forrester will feel like Brooke's becoming torn between Nick and Ridge, so he'll push his son to get his act together and win Brooke back before it's too late. Eric will issue a second warning in case Ridge opens his eyes and realizes that Brooke is his future, as he will still have a deep sense that Ridge prefers Brooke to Taylor Hayes. In the upcoming episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge will be forced to update his perspective due to shocking news and frightening circumstances, so stay tuned. Finn is perplexed by Luna's confirmed alive leave of absence. John Finn Finnegan was perplexed when The Bold and the Beautiful revealed that Luna Nozawa was confirmed to be alive on screen following Lee Finnegan's absence. At the hospital, Finn stopped Lee as she walked by with a big box of stuff. Lee claimed she'd packed up since she was taking a leave of absence, so Finn was confused over the news since it was so unlike his mom. Despite Lee normally being a workaholic, she acted like she needed some time to process everything that had happened with Luna and Papi Nozawa before that. Steffi Forrester's absence from the children came up during the conversation. They would be back, but Finn would miss them. However, Finn couldn't help but reflect on the fact that Luna nearly prevented him from seeing his wife again. Lee finally admitted that she needed to take care of something and suggested that it ought to have been done a long time ago after Finn asked her more questions about her leave of absence. Lee made her way to the location where she had Luna stashed in a hospital bed. After Lee took medical supplies out of her box, she pulled back the curtain to reveal Luna and pressed some buttons on the equipment she was hooked up to. A rooftop welcome party was held for Eric Forrester, Ridge Forrester, and Brooke Logan when they arrived in Naples. Meanwhile, Nick met with a man about the boat he needed for his upcoming ride with Brooke. There was a mechanic named Luigi fiddling with the steering wheel and working on the boat's hydraulics, but Nick got reassurance that the boat would be ready in time. Nick eventually tracked down Brooke and gave her an enthusiastic Italian greeting. Brooke agreed to have some fun with Nick on this trip, so he kissed her like it was a date while Eric looked at her. At the Forrester mansion, Donna Logan and Taylor Hayes talked about how much they missed Eric and Ridge now that they'd landed in Italy. Donna wound up talking about Ridge being the only guy who made Brooke happy, but Taylor thought Nick could be a real option for her instead. Although Donna pointed out that Nick wasn't Brooke's first choice, Taylor insisted that was too bad and played up the fact that Ridge was taken. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor will experience some heartbreak in the future. Consequently, keep an eye out for news regarding Taylor's reaction to Ridge and Brooke's impending reunion. In a silent room filled with the quiet hum of medical machinery and the faint scent of antiseptic, Lee Finnegan stood vigil over the pale, fragile figure of Luna Nozawa, who lay motionless in a hospital bed hidden away from the world. With the hospital behind her and a leave of absence now in effect, Lee was free to right what she saw as a grievous wrong, to offer the nurturing and structure that Luna never received from Papi Nozawa, and to fulfill the promise she made to herself the moment she pulled her niece-granddaughter from the jaws of death. Clutching Luna's limp hand, Lee whispered a fierce vow, "I will not let you die. You will come back. I owe you that much." Though Luna was in a coma, unresponsive and silent, Lee's words filled the room like a sacred oath. She had done this before smuggling out of the hospital her son, John Finn Finnegan, when the rest of the world had given up on him, in similar circumstances. With nothing but determination, medical expertise, and the unwavering will of a mother, she had defied protocol, dispelled public opinion, and brought Finn back to life. She would now do the same thing for Luna, the child who, despite her darkening, still bore resemblance to the young girl Lee once knew and loved. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan, radiant yet conflicted under the Italian sun, was facing a storm of her own. Draped in designer elegance at the Forrester collaboration with Luisa Beccaria in Capri, she should have been living a dream. Instead, her heart felt split in two, caught between the lingering pull of her past with Nick Marone and the enduring bond she shared with Ridge Forrester. Recollections of stolen kisses, shared dreams, and sun-drenched memories that had never quite faded had been stirred up during their boat ride together. Ridge, with his signature intensity, couldn't hide the way his eyes searched Brooke's face for signs that the woman he'd always called his destiny might be slipping through his fingers once again. Eric Forrester, who was watching from a distance, recognized it right away. Brooke was torn, and Ridge needed to stop sleepwalking through this so-called friendship with Taylor Hayes and reclaim the future he knew he wanted. With the wisdom of a man who'd made plenty of his own mistakes, Eric urged Ridge to act before it was too late. "Brooke is your future," Eric warned. "Don't allow Nick to alter your narrative." Back in L.A., Finn was growing increasingly suspicious. His mother's abrupt departure from the hospital, her emotionally charged announcement about needing time, and her secretive behavior all pointed to something bigger, something off. His heart clenched at the memory of nearly losing Steffi Forrester, his wife, because of Luna. That betrayal still cut deep, especially knowing that Luna had spiraled so violently from a wide-eyed intern to a full-blown criminal mastermind responsible for the deaths of Tom Starr and Hollis Hollister, not to mention the horrifying moment when she held Steffi hostage in a cage like a deranged predator. Her transformation had been so shocking, so complete, that it was hard to believe she was even the same girl who once bashfully flirted with R.J. Forrester by the Forrester stapler. And yet, when Finn stumbled upon Lee's medical supplies, something clicked. He was aware of his mom. He knew her tendencies. And he knew, without a doubt, that Luna wasn't dead. Lee was concealing her while she was alive. True to form, Luna's still form remained under constant care in a private facility Lee only had access to. Lee checked her vitals, adjusted her fore-drip, and changed her bandages with a tenderness that was startling to witness. She whispered stories of Finn's childhood, tales of strength and survival, gently willing Luna's broken psyche to reconnect with the world. But what if Luna woke up without remembering any of it? What if her mind reverted to that innocent girl who came to L.A. starry-eyed, full of hope, dreaming of fashion glory at Forrester Creations? Could amnesia be a blessing in disguise? A way to give Luna a second chance to start again without the weight of her crimes crushing her every step? Lee wasn't naive. She knew people would be skeptical, perhaps even convinced Luna was faking it. But she was willing to take that risk, to protect her, rehabilitate her, and most importantly keep her out of the system that failed her once already. While Lee toiled in secret, the romance and drama in Italy were reaching a boiling point. Nick, ever the charming rogue, was pulling out all the stops to win Brooke back. He arranged a moonlit ride aboard a sleek, classic Italian boat, its every surface gleaming under the starlight. Luigi, the grizzled local mechanic, gave Nick the all-clear, assuring him the boat's hydraulics were fixed in time for the romantic escapade. And just as promised, Nick swept Brooke away, his kiss lingering a little too long, his hand grasping hers with unmistakable intent. Brooke didn't pull away. She laughed hesitant, breathless, surprised at herself. She wasn't the same woman she'd been all those years ago, but her heart still beat a little faster when Nick looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. At the Forrester mansion, Donna Logan and Taylor Hayes were deep in conversation over champagne and memories. Taylor, ever graceful in heartbreak, conceded that Ridge and Brooke shared something unshakable. Donna, however, wasn't so sure. She knew Brooke. And she also knew that Brooke's heart had always defaulted to Ridge even when logic or pride said otherwise. But Taylor wasn't backing down. She pointed out that Nick offered Brooke something different, something less chaotic, more grounded. Maybe Ridge was her first choice, Taylor mused, but that doesn't mean he was the right one. Back in Italy, Ridge was beginning to understand the magnitude of what he stood to lose. He was terrified when he saw Brooke smile with Nick and see her light up in a way he hadn't been able to recreate since their last relationship. "Don't wait," Eric's warning reverberated in his head. "Don't assume." And yet, Ridge found himself paralyzed, caught between the woman he never stopped loving and the reality that she might finally be moving on. Meanwhile, the camera pans to Lee once more, as she gently strokes Luna's hair, her voice barely above a whisper. "You're going to wake up, and when you do, you'll have me. Not your mother. Not chaos. Just me." I will keep my promise. And somewhere, deep in the fog of Luna's fractured consciousness, something stirs, a flicker of memory, a ghost of a smile, a whisper of a stapler found on a desk, and the scent of eucalyptus in the air. The battle for Luna's soul has only just begun. And across the ocean, a different battle rages, one for Brooke's heart. Torn between the man who's been her destiny for decades and the man who offers her a new version of love, Brooke is poised to make a choice that will shape not only her future but the entire Forrester legacy. As the waves crash on Capri's shore and Luna's machines beep softly in the dim light of her secret recovery room, the Bold and the Beautiful gears up for its next seismic shift. From comas and confessions to yachts and reunions, the storm is here and nobody is getting out unscathed.